the motherfucking word. And if I say in front of your face and you step to me, let me tell you something. A word ain't committing a crime. You putting hands on me is committing a crime. So you're the one that's going to be the criminal going to jail, and you're just going to add to the population of black folks that are in prison that you're always complaining about. So I don't understand why you let this get upset. It ruins your day when other people use the N word. It just amazes me how stupid you sound and how your feelings get so hurt and you're so sensitive like a little tiny little baby. You know,
Manny, this is an anti-black rant. Don't act like your people ain't sitting up in those prisons
No,
running
it is. It
ours.
is
but it's
back.
okay.
That's
It's
That
back.
was
okay.
weird, Manny. See, that's what I'm
So,
saying.
so
Listen.
That's the only time I get
Listen.
mad when I hear anti-black talk.
If we're gonna have a
But
conversation,
Granny, let's be honest
No, I'm
though.
not gonna
so
excuse
Keisha.
nobody that's
No,
not black
we
talking about his
first of
back,
all,
Look,
Keisha.
let's
don't
no,
nobody
look. I don't
own
want
the
to drop
word.
people.
Just because
Don't
you
nobody
like
own the
it,
word.
Keisha,
Don't
I'm not
nobody
it
own the
don't have
word.
nothing to do with. It
I want
has
Ghetto
respect.
nothing to
ass.
do.
can we
Okay,
just,
just
discuss civilly? Let's have a civil discussion. No
yes.
anger.
I'm not angry
No, I'm
at
just saying, all
all.
of us.
I
No
only came
anger.
on
No
TikTok to clear
cursing.
my.
No
I
name
came up to
calling. Let's just have a
So,
civil discussion and see where it leads.
right,
thank you
but
for the
listen,
people
I just
here.
want to say this real quick to
Yeah, go
Granny
ahead, Keisha. Go ahead.
because the thing here is, and Peacemaker. Maybe now the conversations that we need to have is with ourselves. Do you understand? Like I said, we're sitting up here talking about something that since the beginning of as far back as we know from colonizers, this word came. This word was used against us by colonizers. It does not matter who uses the word or not. When we actually have embraced this word and taking the hate out of it. So if we took the hate out of it, and it doesn't matter if you say that people in those regions are prejudiced against black people. There are people in America, in the US, that are prejudiced against black people, but we have whitey friends that we allowed to use the words. Do you understand? Whitey people who actually demonized the word and used it against us. Those same come from those same people that some of us have friends that use it. There are Hispanics in the U.S. that use it. We have Hispanic friends because we live in the same communities, and they say nothing about them using the word because the whole thing is the intent. And regardless of who uses it, even if a black person uses it, it is the intent. I've seen even black Americans, black African Americans tell Africans that they cannot use the words. So that is, if you ask Hermes, he will tell you. If Hermes say my ninja, black men in the US will tell him you can't say that. You cannot use the word. So I don't think black Americans should be, we are the ones that's gatekeeping that word. They don't even want you, Peacemaker, to use the word. And if Hermes was here, he'll tell you.
Okay. Okay, but see, I can understand if they don't want me to use the word because that word was not designated for black people in Africa. That word is derogatory. That word was designed to offend. So if they don't want me to use the word, I can understand. But what I don't understand is why non-black people, knowing what this word is meant for, knowing how this particular group, that this word was created for, how they feel about it, why are they pressed? Why is it even necessary for them to use it against them, knowing that, it's meant to offend? If Mexico want to use it among themselves, they can do that. If South America want to use it among themselves, they can do that. Same thing with Brazil, among themselves. But when you cross the boundary to black people to use it against them, then it takes a whole new meaning. And don't say that black people allow the white people to use the word. They never do. It causes fire.
Why did he get muted?
I didn't mute him.
Sorry for.
Why did he get muted?
He's getting a problem. He's getting a phone call, I think.
Manny, the reason why I got loud is because when I started talking, people started talking over me. And I'm not going to sit up here and be told, oh, you can't get loud, but it's okay for them to interrupt me when I'm checking them on what they say.
So we gotta just let people finish what they're saying,
Yeah,
so there's no
let me
argument.
finish quickly. I'm almost done. So this is the only place. This is the only place I have. Nobody trying to guard or keep the word. What we're saying is that if a Mexican want to use the word, use it against.
And we do, Peacemaker. Like, that's what I was trying to say in previous months. Like, for a while, I've been saying that I did a live stream a year ago with the Black community here. As many Black people, all my followers, I sent invitations to as many people as I could. And there were people that said, Manny, like, why are you worried about the ninja word? It transcended outside of our community. People use this in other communities. I'm like, you're right, 100,000,000%. Like, I wanted to address the people who are confused about the ninja word and think that it's a negative, because it might be a negative to people who don't understand how this word transcended outside of the Black community. Now, within the indigenous people of Mexico, and this is why I've been telling people, we've been called ninjas for 500 years. We've been called ninjas for 500. The minute we started helping the African people who were enslaved here be free, mixing with them, sharing our community, our land, and calling them brothers and sisters, they started to call us ninjas too.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying, like, it's not
look
fair.
At what I'm saying.
Yes, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, look at what I'm saying. I forgot that Mexico have blacks like me from Africa.
Yes.
I know that a lot of people were shipped to Mexico and other countries. I watched a documentary called Blacks in South America by one doctor, Henry Louis Gates.
Sure.
He said, which I'm not sure, he said that more blacks were shipped to Mexico than to the United States. But what I'm saying is, even in Mexico, you know who you are. Some of you guys are white. Some of you guys are straight from Spain, or some of you guys
in
are
Africa.
Indian. So no,
Africa is the same way. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just saying that's the same thing in Africa.
Yeah. So now
there's white tea, there's Asian looking, there's all kinds of mixes in Africa.
Yeah, but we're
we're
very different people, and we are very segregated. Yes,
brother,
but let me.
Have you been to Equatorial Guinea?
Yeah. No. Let me finish.
You know that the official language there is Spanish, right? That's their official language.
Yeah, that's just our colonization.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Yeah, same here. It was just colonization here, same thing.
Yeah. Just like in Nigeria or in Ghana, official language is English, but doesn't mean and it has nothing to do with genetics. But when I'm talking about white, I'm not talking about your language. I'm talking about your genetic makeup. Now in Mexico, you have people that look like us in Africa. If you want to use the word, the N word with people of your kind in Mexico, I don't think anybody will push back on that. We don't own the word. We didn't even invent the word. But if you use it against somebody from Mexico that look like me, then it has a new meaning. That's all I'm saying. In America, if somebody from Guatemala use it against somebody from Guatemala, the same color, the same Indian, the same Mayan, or anything they are, blacks are not going to push you back. It's only when you cross the line, that's when the resistance begins.
I think the problem here is that everybody's trying to globalize the word. You're trying to act like it's not used within certain subdivisions in its own way, its own form.
He just
and what I mean by that, no, he didn't just say that. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yes, he did. He said that.
Ma'am, you need to be quiet because you run your mouth too
Manny,
much.
this
Just be
guy
quiet.
is problematic.
But like what I said, like I was saying,
just let him finish. Like, he's trying to get some words out.
You just be talking about
somebody talking over you,
yo.
yo.
You need to mind your elders, young lady. Mind your elders. Mind your
elders. I told you to please let people finish what they're saying.
Young lady, mind your elders.
I don't really, right now at this moment, nothing is bothering me.
Please
Mind
let
your
I'm
him,
not.
let
elder,
him
I'm
young
Okay,
not.
finish.
lady.
great, but it
Mind your
bothers
elder.
me.
It's
Mind your
not. It's
elders.
just that you should allow him to finish. He started speaking
I
Yes.
before
don't
you.
know because he said the complete opposite of what
But it
Peacemaker was
doesn't matter,
saying.
Granny. But
And
you
Well,
then
just
still
said
shut
what
up and listen.
Peacemaker
Let him
wasn't
finish
but
saying.
you
anyway.
still cut him off, and you was talking about
He said
people
they don't
cutting
need a
people
black
off.
woman from Africa to sit up here and
It
try and
don't,
act
Granny. You
like
don't
you're their
have to
savior.
agree. You don't
You didn't
listen.
have to.
I'm
You
not.
didn't join. You didn't have
Keisha's
to
I
cool
join
here,
the
don't. I
just
don't
like
panel
you,
agree
either.
with what
Grannycoy.
he's saying.
You didn't have
If
to
no
join
one,
the
Please
panel
let
either.
him
it doesn't
finish,
matter
please.
if anybody agrees
Keisha
with
is
what
a
he's
Keisha,
saying.
you're
moderator.
I'm
not
just
my
saying.
mom. I could do whatever
No,
I
but
Keisha,
you,
want.
Ke,
I'm
no.
older than
Listen, I'm
you.
talking about
No, you
that
need
you
to stop. I
specifically,
don't.
Keisha is a
Manny.
moderator here. Keisha is
I
a
You
will.
made
moderator.
But
Keisha a moderator.
She is. She's been a moderator
You
for
made
since I known
Keisha a
her.
moderator, Manny.
She's been my mod.
Manny.
You didn't know that?
Manny,
Look,
I
she's been a
swear to
mod here.
goodness. Manny, I swear to goodness.
She's sharing her
Oh my
opinion.
God,
We're not paying
Manny.
her.
I
I'm
swear to
not paying
goodness.
her to
Keisha,
speak.
I can't. Ooh. Go
I
ahead,
She's
can't
Valdez. Keep
believe.
being anti-black. Go ahead.
Why
she's
why
not
is your
being
name why is your
anti-black.
name why is your name humanitarian where you all
Oh my
about
God,
controversy? That's what I
girl.
don't understand.
Is
You
it
are not any kind
controversy
of
because I don't agree
humanitarian
with your
whatsoever. All
anti-blackness?
you
If that's
are
what
is
it
your
is,
all
that's
you
what
are
it
is
is
all
because
you
you
do is
said
cause
something
controversy.
anti-black about
That's
black
Look,
because
if
you
people
can
you
being
never
in
shut the
prison.
fuck up and just listen.
You
Mind
shut
your
the
elders,
F
young
up.
lady. Mind your
You
elders,
shut the
young
F
lady.
up. Worry about
Hey,
You
hey,
sit your ass down there and
Valdez,
shut
worry
why are
up.
you
about your
so
cousins in the
Valdez?
ICE
Why are you
camp.
so
Don't worry
angry,
about black
bro?
people in prison.
Because this bitch keep
let
talking
her
her fucking
finish.
shit.
Yeah,
Manny, you
She's
gonna let
talking
him
about
call me a
she talking about
yeah,
she
yeah.
bitch?
talking
I ain't
about
All
people
calling
right,
him his
guys.
interrupting
name
her,
Here,
Yeah,
I'm
yet.
a,
and
I'm
she
a,
I ain't
runs her
calling him by
mouth.
his
hang on.
name yet.
She runs her fucking mouth too damn much. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Manny. Because this woman, man, she just runs her mouth like she's going out of control. She talks about people interrupting her, and she constantly interrupts. If anybody's anti anything, she's anti. She's anti-humanitarian. You need to take that name and change it. All you are is a controversy starter. But anyway, like I
humanitarian.
was
Why would
saying,
you say ICE? Now I got to take a screenshot of that and I got to drop you, humanitarian, because now I'm going to use this again. You should already know using putting ICE is being racist and prejudiced.
show the hell is drop that
She
bitch.
just said she's talking about the immigration.
Oh, I know.
Your
I'm
cousins
American.
called
It
you
don't
from
bother
ICE.
me. I was born and raised here, so it don't bother me none. But
Why
I
would
see
you do that, Grannycoy?
I'm about to
Yeah, go
lose my
ahead, man.
time anyway. I only got 15 seconds
I'm
left. I
gonna
can't
end the
say nothing.
showtime because it was just her really,
I
and
know it.
just her saying ICE and calling immigration and all this shit, saying immigration and all this. That's
You know,
so bad to say.
it's people like her that people can't sit down and have a decent conversation and talk about things and try to see eye to eye. You know, it's people like her that constantly stir the pot and just you know what I mean. And my energy comes from her energy. She gonna talk shit and be all nasty, so am I. You know what I mean? That's all I was doing. But what I was
Yeah,
gonna go back to saying is that I don't understand why people just don't understand. And I always take it back to culture. People always want to use culture as a big worldwide globe. Like there's black culture, there's Mexican culture, there's white culture. Culture doesn't coincide with race. Now, race can be part of a culture. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, a lot of Hispanics live together, a lot of black people live together. But that's not what culture is. Culture is a society of people. And what I was trying to get to, if you look at New York City has a bunch of people, blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, everything under the sun. And up there, you go up there and you go to the Bronx and you'll see them all, and they all using the N word. And there's nothing wrong with it. They accept that in their community. That's their culture. It has nothing to do with black culture, white culture, or Hispanic culture. That's their culture. You come down to the South, where I grew up, it's the same. It's the same damn thing. And people always try to say it's not, but I grew up here. I know it is. You know what I mean? So it is the same here, you know. But you can't take a race and think that you're gonna have the same culture throughout the whole world. That's not the way it works. And that's all
hey,
I had
brother,
to say.
Okay,
thank you for
okay.
sharing that. Well,
Can we ask you a question?
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
see, let me just to what he said. Um, we've had people come up here thinking that we have not been called ninjas for 500 years. They don't know the history
Exactly.
of this word. There are black people who don't say they're black. Like the brother that was out here, I'm gonna call him brother because I don't have hate against him, even though we have different points of views. He came up here saying he ain't black, even though he's what a lot of you guys would say black or African American. He thinks he's like a different melanin. He doesn't even think he descends probably from Africa. That he has no connection to Africa, meaning that there were no Negroid. that phenotype, that melanin here. I'm not trying to say it in a prejudice, just how I learned to express a particular people based on what the Murphy show Murphy was saying in one of his live streams. I've been in many live streams in the past with him. Now Keisha, like, look, I didn't trust her before, you know, I didn't know who she was. But when more and more time, I realized that Keisha, for the people who ain't following her, she's been honorable. When we joined spaces, she told people, let them finish, let them fully express what they're trying to say. Because when we cut people off, like the brother right here just under her, like he really expressed something that made sense to me. And Grannycoy was trying to cut him off and calling him this and calling him that without giving him a chance. Then she goes on the comments because she's angry and puts ice, like calling him a WB or a B or a border hopper or something. That is racist. And I actually sang happy birthday to Grannycoy when she turned 50, like I don't know, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, give or take, somewhere on there. You know, I've always been respectful to her, and she little by little has taken a position in her live streams and in just her way of overall expressing herself that is very anti-indigenous, angry towards, I don't know, other black people like Keisha. Like she came up here, she was like being bogus to Keisha too. I'm like, bro, why? Keisha's here on her own behalf. If she doesn't want to be here, she can leave when she wants, but she's here and we appreciate her being here because she's really helping us build on an understanding between our communities. Thank you so much, Keisha, for being here, and everybody else on the panel. Pixie, welcome, and Key at the very top. Key Divine,
Yes.
welcome too. So go ahead, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, my question